Brother Cliff, again with a Q&A, another Q&A. We have a question here that is much like the question that a child may ask, where did God come from? It's a question that I can't really say for sure, but I have some observations about it, okay? But here's the question. When the flood in Genesis came, did the fish drown? Did God have to recreate fish? Well, again, we have to go to the text. And in the text, and again in Genesis chapter 7, the text says that when the waters prevailed, let me just read it for you. And the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went up upon the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. Now that means simply this, that 15 cubits above the highest mountain is how high the water level was. So there was nothing that wasn't uncovered, that was covered. Everything was covered. And then in verse 21 it says, and all flesh, now listen to this, it's very important, and all flesh died that move upon the earth, okay? Both of the fowl and of the cattle and of the beasts and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth and every man. And in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land died. And every living subject was destroyed which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, creeping things, the fowl of the heavens, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. Okay? So the question, did the fish drown? Well, look closely. First of all, we have this to be fact. All flesh died that moved upon the earth. Okay? Here's another fact. Listen to this one in verse 22. All in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land died. Okay? Two times Moses stated, first of all, that everything upon the earth, all flesh upon the earth, died. And then he made the other comment, everything that was in the dry land died. So you ask, Brother Cliff, did the fish die? Well, it seems to be, to me, if you look at it, and you have to make your own mind up, but it seems to me that everything died on first look. But then if you think, is he just talking about everything? Verse 22 kind of seems to give us the idea that Moses is talking about everything that was on dry land died. Well, I was thinking about it. Because the last part of the question is, did God have to recreate fish? Well, think about it for a second. Water, springs, the water came from the heavens. Springs yielded up the water. Fresh water and salt water. Saltwater fish can't live in fresh water, and the freshwater fish can't live in salt water. So all that was mixed together, and I'm thinking, and maybe you have a different opinion, but I'm thinking that they did die. But see, you say, well, did he have to recreate? No, because the Bible is very clear that there was no recreation ever performed except you and I. As the Bible tells us in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17, that we were created, old passed away, behold, all has come new when we were saved, okay? But we're talking about something else. We're talking about the fish. But just as God put animals on the ark, do you not know there had to be a water source on the ark for all the animals? There had to be a water source. Do you not think that Noah could have had fish on the ark? I mean, could there have been a tank on the ark where there was fish in it? I'm saying if God could put an elephant on the ark, he could put a fish on the ark. So my observation is that, yes, fish made it, but they only made it by the grace of God, just like Noah. So I don't know what the answer is, but I do know that God made provision for the fish. Amen. God bless you. Have a great day.